myself a salmon dinner, broccoli and whole grain mustard mash. And sweet corn too. I think I worked out that I have not been in an RV park for 2 months. Or not paid to park anywhere for 2 months. A lot of house sitting, a lot of boondocking. This is Emerald Lake. I've not been in yet. I did some work today, and now I'm enjoying the fruits of my labor. I get to pay for a night in this RV park, and then I'm going to keep going north to Howard Prairie. It's great to be back on Rasta Shasta. Yeah, loving it. And this is really good. Can't fail to get with a bit of box wine. A nice Zinfandel. So I've just gone all the way through California up into Oregon. I've been in house sitting, so I drive around, boondock in some places, house sit in others, so I get a chance to do my laundry, live with animals, live in beautiful homes, and I really enjoy that. But I gotta say, I am loving being back in my home. Life is short, and I just want to have experiences. That's what life is all about. Definitely would like it to be with more people, and it's not healthy to be as isolated as I have been, but I do love this life, and it is great to just do whatever I want whenever I want. And very soon that's going to be to go swimming in Emigrant Lake, because it's hot. Sun is going down, so I better be quick. So yeah, I'm going to finish up my meal and go swimming. So, just finished my lake swim. Love lake swimming. Pretty much all summer it's been lakes. Kind of rejected the beaches of Santa Cruz and the surfing for Lake Siskiyou, Emigrant Lake. I'm on my way to Crater Lake, going to Hyatt Lake, Howard Prairie Lake. Lake living, baby. That was a really nice swim out to the buoy, or the buoy as we would say, around the buoy and back. I would like to live the healthy life, but it's time for a sundowner. I'm definitely doing a lot better with smoking, drinking, but I'm half South African, and the South Africans like a sundowner. That's exactly what I've got. It is beautiful down here. L'chaim. Pretty gross floating bubbles, green goo in the lake there. It's not very encouraging. This is super relaxing, but it is not a relaxing time to be in the United States right now. It's definitely a decision whether to, it's not really whether to stay or go. Whatever meager life this is, it is my life right now, and it's a life that I've carved out for myself. It's always been the most important thing for me to be in nature, and that's what I am doing here. You know, I can't do this in the UK. Not sit here. I haven't even barely bothered to towel myself down. It's the evening, it's warm, I believe in the original, in pre-America, this land. And sure, that is gone. But for me, that dream is kind of still alive. I'm yet to really spend some time in a Native American Indian community. I mean, this whole phrase just keeps bothering me, right? Like, it's not Native American, they weren't Americans. But I want to discover what that is. Or at least there's a balance there, right? Because paleskins have taken over. We are long past that victory. But we can still be here and honor those first people and find out, what did they call this lake? Who were they? Alright, I'm getting bit. Oregon Lake Tour continues. We're going over to Lake Hyatt, then Prairie, then Lake of the Woods, and then Crater Lake. This is Emigrant Lake. Just had a lovely morning swim, nice breakfast. I'm almost an hour late for check-in. No one has bothered me, so we're past check-out time. So let's go. That was crazy. I thought I just had a flat tire, but there was a rock stuck in between my dually tires. My dualies. Anyway, driving out. No more sounds. Adios to Emigrant Lake. Stop here for a bit. As you can see, I'm still wearing the same clothes. I got a ranger's badge today. So we're here at Prairie Lake. And as you can see, we're in a thunderstorm. Luckily here it's not raining right now. All across the lake we're getting big strikes of lightning. Oh! Whoa! Beautiful lightning storm I've ever been in. The rain is getting heavy now though. Sun setting. Wow. The sunset is still beautiful and I'm sat inside my motorhome, Rasta Shasta. Still enjoying this lightning storm. Nights like these make it all worthwhile. Alright, I gotta cook dinner. Gonna make a rosemary lamb. Oh yeah. I'm finishing my day off with a rosemary lamb, garlic rosemary lamb. I mean, goodness gracious me. Oh my. Trust me, this is going to be good. Oh yeah. Smells incredible. Whole grain mustard mash. Oh mate, it's going to be leftovers. Well, it's been a phenomenal day. I am now going to top it off with this lamb shoulder with balsamic sweet potato, whole grain mash, peas and carrots, and a lamb chop. Oh yeah, and of course, drink a little wine. We are on Rasta Shasta. Last night I stayed up to make these new things. I have been collecting feathers all across Oregon, and yeah, I'm gonna start making these to waft my sage. Okay. I prefer Palo Santo anyway, darling. Right. I'm excited. Actually, it's sad times. I actually need to eat with glasses on now. Someone ever told me that. They're not just reading glasses, they're eating glasses as well. That's my first attempt at a lamb. I've grilled it, or broiled it, which is one of those silly American words that did not need to be changed. I need to get some butter on this veg. Tell you what, what's more, it's all hot. I prefer a lamb chop to a lamb shoulder, but hey, I ain't working. L'chaim. I show all this because I think people assume that I'm just living out in a motorhome, you know, trailer park. And yeah, I mean, at times it is like that, and it's difficult, and I'm not living in my own home. I mean, I am living in my own home. I'm not living in a house with a garden, and a garage, and a car outside, which I would love, obviously. But I am living well. I'm living alone. I'm living in peace. I'm doing whatever I want, whenever I want. At least for the time being. Long may it continue. Big risk. Do not want to see any ice agents. But I'm enjoying life while I can. I just want you to know this is not a miserable divorcee situation. I'm living out my dreams. And I'm never going to regret that. So that's why I'm sharing this with you, and also I like to talk to somebody. Happy Lightning Day. Got some noisy neighbours. Literally the only neighbours here. I should have moved. Yeah. Got to be tolerant of others, haven't we? Says the man who's living by a lake. I got to show you this lake. It's so still today. Just woken up. Can do some morning journaling. It is so quiet, so calm. So this is the calm after the storm. We had a couple of hours of lightning storms yesterday and woken up to this glassy lake, this beautiful warm sunshine, perfect temperature in the water. It's just a perfect day and conditions for a swim. That is gorgeous. Best way to wake up there is. There is nobody else here. It's just paradise. This is what I always dreamed of. Just being out by a lake. Peace, quiet, lake swimming. There's a lot of weed. But it's safer than the ocean. Well, that was the park ranger. It's 45 minutes after checkout time and I'm sitting out here with my feet up. It's pretty relaxed, pretty expensive for no hookups. I'd love to stay, but I've got Lake of the Woods and Crater Lake to get to, and I realize I've only got 2 or 3 days at the most. Also finding that in my isolation or in my peace, I'm becoming more intolerant of noise. I guess if it's so quiet and all you have is nature, and then you have like a family or neighbors that are loud, it's difficult not to get irritated by that, and therefore you just keep looking for more and more private and isolated places, which is what I'm going to go do. I don't think you can really see this because it's so vast. But there's a lake off in the distance, horses feeding in the field, Mount McLaughlin over to the left there. I mean, Oregon, this is just southern Oregon, is so beautiful. Hey, and the hat fits right in around here. So we are rolling into Lake of the Woods. My penultimate lake of this trip. I'm eager to get up to Crater Lake. Let's see, we've got Rainbow Bay. That sounds good. Let's check that out. So I've just left Lake of the Woods. I'm on my way up to Crater Lake, and to do that I'm driving along what is now called Dead Indian Memorial Highway. They changed it in 1993 from Dead Indian Road to be a little more sympathetic. It's possible that the Indians that were found dead, probably murdered along this road, were killed by members of another tribe. Who knows? But as I drive along here, I feel it's really important to, I can't remember these people, but I would like to mourn them in some way. And I like to look upon the landscape here, imagining that some of it, you know, not least the trees, the wildlife, was very similar to what they would have seen, what they spent centuries living around. You can see the sign in the background there, Dead Indian Memorial Road. I would love to know what these places were called by the indigenous people of this region. Obviously, their culture has been intentionally erased. There were termination periods. The people are still here. They still exist. And their history has to be remembered. And of course, this is about the worst time, well, not the worst time in history, there have been worse times, but we are so far away in this country from embracing the indigenous roots. But I feel that's why I'm here. I mean, the white savior here. But it's why I want to stay here. I would like to follow indigenous people and what they deem best for this land. And I would like to see them in these places, performing ceremonies, and less of these holidaying white people like me. At least I'm trying to remember them. I don't know. I'm now just yards off the Volcanic Legacy Highway. Just strolling down the stream. It is freezing cold, so I'm not going to be here long. But isn't it beautiful? I'm going to spend the night here before getting to Crater Lake. Oh, I gotta get out. Oh my God. Wow. Oh, my feet are freezing. Wow. This reminds me of something out of like that Brad Pitt movie when he's fishing in a lake. It's beautiful. So I'm excited about this. Behind me there, somewhere in those hills, is Crater Lake. That's where I'm on my way to. Currently I'm standing on around the bottom of the lake. It's, I believe, 2,000 meters deep. Nearly 8,000 years ago, there was a huge volcano called Mazama, which blew its magma. So much magma and ash and rock was blown out of the volcano that there was nothing left to support it in the middle, and it all collapsed into what is now Crater Lake. This area is very, very flat. There is now nothing here because all of that ash and rock just fell and covered everything. This highway is a volcanic legacy memorial highway. It's just incredible to see this landscape formed in ways that are just impossible for us to imagine. I feel like this is definitely one of the highlights of Oregon. I'm looking forward to getting there. I'm going to camp somewhere nearby here where I'm hoping for some free camping tonight. But yeah, it is cowboy country, huh? Beautiful. Oregon, baby. So here I am, last leg of the journey. This is Crater Lake, and just been for a swim at the bottom, and praise be, hallelujah, there was a cliff jump at the bottom which was safest one I've ever done because you're just staring down into this blue water. You could see every rock in it, so I swam in there with my goggles, the deepest blue I think I've ever experienced. So all of this blue water is entirely from snowmelt and rain. There's no streams at all here, it's just one massive crater that was the center of an enormous volcano, 12,000 feet high. Well, stepping onto this rock is a really powerful experience. The 360-degree crater, the sun going down over there. What I'm finding really powerful is this rock formation here with the green lichen over the front. That was the edge of the mountain. So everything this side blew out. So I just wanted to finish off the discussion about Indians in America, and I'm sure I sound like this white savior wannabe, God, even worse, like a liberal, or whatever I sound like. I don't really give a shit. Because I know it comes from like a deep place within me, like since I was a child I've felt this affinity with tribal people. For me it's not just that we should remember and memorialize and be aware of our history. It's also going to save our future. The answer to our disconnection, our isolation, our wars, our planetary issues, our health crisis, environmental crisis. The answer to these things lies in what we lost, what we took away through colonialism and capitalism. Indians had wars, they were human beings, they were assholes, they were selfish people, of course. For a start, it occurred to me how awful it must have been to have thousands of years of tradition, to have gone from living more or less harmoniously off the land without any need, without attachment to possessions, without marriage. There was reproduction, there was the purpose of a couple being together and raising children, and then they left. There wasn't any such thing as adultery, money. They didn't have money. They traded. They came to places like this on vision quests. They were spiritually advanced, and my descendants came in and saw their generosity as something to exploit, and that they were easy to enslave. And what we have lost there is our spirituality, and we are trying to get back there. And there is a growing number of people that are dismissed as hippies that have a desire to return to a more spiritual, a more grateful way of living, a more present, like spending all this time out here by myself in places as beautiful as this. Honestly, just breathtaking. Like just talking to you and, this noise, this online posting and just being around people. There's a touristy part of the lake here, and there's so much noise. People are not being present in their lives, and they're not being themselves, and they're not being connected to each other. Which is rich for me to say, considering that I am out here on my own, not connected to anyone. But what I am connected to is this, and occasionally the present moment. So I know I sound idealistic and passionate and dismissive, but I can't always go through life thinking about what somebody I'm not going to agree with is going to think of me. So I'm expressing myself in this beautiful place. This is a place to meditate, not talk to my camera, so I'm going to go do that. So beautiful. Oh my goodness. So the energy here is electric, and the flowers, beautiful. Looks like we're going to get a great sunset, and the park is open 24 hours a day. Yeah, this is one of the most beautiful trips I've ever been on, and this lake is something else. Crater Lake in Oregon. So yeah, what a trip. I've loved these lakes. Howard Prairie, definite highlight. We have not been lucky with the weather today, although it wasn't weather, it was wildfires, but it is really clearing up now. Woo! So another day, another hat, another shirt, and another lake. We're fitting in some more. This one is Diamond Lake, just north of Crater Lake. Also formed by the enormous eruption of Mount Zuma 7,700 years ago. I have a little audience of these beautiful birds. They're very curious. These are the guys, oh, hello. These are the guys that were on top of my motorhome last night. They're beautiful. Maybe they think they're getting fed. Maybe they're just interested in volcanoes. So, this is Diamond Lake. I'm going to head off up to Toketee Waterfall Trailhead, see if I can get a swim in a waterfall before heading back to Crater Lake, Trader Joe's, Costco, one more boondock night, and then I'm back to house sitting. This is the jagged peak of Mount Thielsen, a now extinct volcano. They think that this highly eroded peak is like a plug in the volcano. They say it's the lightning rod of the Cascades because that is hit by lightning so many times. I've seen some of the lightning storms here and wow. So there are marks all across the summit, zigzagged scars of lightning. Incredible. So I'm managing to fit in another lake and a waterfall before heading back to Crater Lake on my way south. So here I am at Toketee Falls, just north of Crater Lake. What a stop, really glad. Beautiful walk here, nice and easy. This volcanic rock either side, phenomenal. Beautiful. And as always, I could just imagine an Indian standing on the top of one of these. They definitely would have inhabited these parts alongside the river, fishing. What a beautiful place to live. And the indigenous people of this land were beautiful too. They fit in nicely with it. Going down this beautiful dirt track. Fitting in another little sight to see. We are just on our way now to the Umpqua Hot Springs, about 15 minutes further up the hill than the waterfall. Let's go. Well, that was beautiful. Well, I didn't film in the hot springs. There was a few naked people around. Didn't think they'd appreciate that. I didn't stay that long because I'm a little nervous about the car park. There were a couple of guys hanging out in it. And it's just classic, right? Go for a hot spring, get everything stolen. So I wanted to check it out, but I am on my way back. I actually saw someone I knew in the hot springs. But you can imagine again, Indians coming up here a sacred site. Feels like that now as well. A lot of hippies, a lot of stoners. Pretty treacherous little trail down here. This is the worst part of it though. Let's go.
My motorhome. I couldn't relax up at the hot spring. Sandwiched by a stream.
Well, this has been an absolutely wonderful place for a little sandwich. Sandwich in the stream by a hot spring. Gotta go and find myself a place to park for tonight. Yeah, I don't want to leave this life, man. Like, this is it. I don't want no responsibilities and jobs and kids and I don't know. People keep telling me like that, you know, a little structure, and obviously a bit of structure would be good in my life, but I think sometimes a lot of people are just trying to get you to do what they're doing. You know, my therapist is like yawning at me the whole time. He's exhausted, doesn't look happy, but sure, he's got a good job. I don't know. It's what's important to you in life. And this is important to me. So is community. But I can have both. At least I think I can. So far, not so much of the community, but lots of the beauty. But just as I'm leaving, there's another little lake here. I'm not sure how it's pronounced. It's either Toketee or more likely Toketee. This is Toketee Lake. Earlier I was at Toketee Waterfall. There's RV parking all over the place. Just feels free and open. It's beautiful. So the sun has just disappeared over the horizon there. I've come back to Crater Lake. I just wanted to see it one more time. Hopefully I'll see it again, but you know what? You never know. And I'm glad I did. That's Wizard Island. This is Crater Lake, formed entirely of snow, ice, and rainwater. I'm standing on what was Mount Mazuma. You can see up there, that's where the mountain was. And it used to fill this entire lake, but it got blown out, and that force, that energy that exists here, I mean, now there's just this calming. It's the calm after the storm. I mean, that storm was 7,700 years ago, but colors. There's a beautiful dead tree here hanging on to the end there. Well, what a lake tour it's been. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for watching.